I removed the air box, and there's a connection to the intake and another connection to the front grill radiator or wherever it's here, just sucking fresh air from the front. I removed the two bolts which keep in the engine. I'm supporting the engine from the bottom. It's really important because otherwise the whole engine can fall off. And there's three bolts on the mount on the chassis. So so far so good. There's another three bolts to remove this bracket here, and that's why I'm removing the intake, and I will try to lift the engine to the maximum higher position, just because I want to reach the third bolt on the bottom. Otherwise it's nearly impossible to reach it. So, like you say, it's the bolt is just here. So we need another, let's say, 1.5 centimeters. And by lowering the car, and the engine needs to go up. And I believe there's a few more centimeters on the top, which is good. Okay. I think that's the maximum position which we can reach. Let me just unplug that sensor. And from here, that should be E10, but I'm not using E10 just because I can't plug the socket in, and I'm using that just a normal wrench, which is just number 8. It's much easier, and the size for that is exactly like E10, so you know it's much easier to remove that bolt. We need to reach the bottom bolt. I don't think I have more access there. There's no way to lift the engine more than that. So from here I need to use that's key number 11. There's a wrench number 14, I believe. Let me just double check. So yeah, that's E14. Obviously on the top bits and the other sides I'm able to reach it, but on the bottom I can't. So E11, it's the same like the, how is that called, the star looking key 11, just the normal one. So that's perfect for this purpose. So what I'm doing, for example, that's the key on the bolt here, like that. And just to use enough pressure to undo the bolt, I need to do that turning. But if I can't reach the socket on the bottom, what I'm doing, I'm just plugging that one like that, make it long enough so firstly I can reach it, and second I can press it a bit more, like really nice pressing, and hopefully it will come out. Now it's nice and easy to remove it, and well, yeah, it's not the nicest place to undo bolt, but it's easy enough now. Okay, we reached the point where we can't turn anymore, so let's do this bit. And that I mean, the third bolt, it's like nearly impossible to remove it. And that's it. It has been removed. It's difficult. That's the most difficult part of the job, to be honest. So, we've got leakage here. Let me remove the belt. Okay, before you remove the belt, it's a good idea just to loose the bolts just a bit, not too much, because otherwise the whole disc can pop up. So be careful with that. And after that, just release the belt. Of course, be careful with your fingers. That's it, we're ready. Now just remove the roller and let's see where's the leaking coming from. Okay, I can see water coming from this point. You know, it's not play, but I can see the water is dropping from here. To remove the thermostat, you can use, I believe it's E10 or just a normal 8 wrench. Now, after we release all the hoses and the connection for the sensor, there's 9 bolts there, so we have to remove all 9. We need the extension for some of them. I'm using E12 to remove the bolts. Firstly, go one by one and release them a bit. That's an aluminium water pump, and the heads on the top, the engine head, it's aluminium. So by doing that, we won't gonna leave too much pressure on just one bolt. So you know, we're doing that just for safety reason. all the bolts out, so that's it. Take this out. Okay guys, luckily the pump just arrived, so I will unpack it and we'll see what we have inside. And the description was saying the pump is coming with gaskets, so hopefully that's the case. That pump coming from eBay and costs like half of the price from the pump from Euro car parts, for example. And the one in Euro car parts, it's twice more expensive, and on the top of that it's coming without the sensors. No sensors, no pipe. On the picture, the pump which I ordered was with sensor. In that case, the sensor is not here. Okay. Hopefully that's the only problem. Hope so. But it's a brand new pump and we'll fit it now. So there, I removed the sensor from the old water pump and we'll spray just a bit brake cleaner and we clean everything which we can. Now try to clean the surface much as you can and use towel for that, not something for scraping or you know, one of those cutting knives or something. Try to be gentle with it. So, you know, it's aluminium head, so we need to keep it in nice condition. What I'm doing, I'm installing one of those inside the cloth and I'm spraying with double different sorry, no, with brake cleaner, and like that you can remove most of the old silicone, if not all of it. Obviously someone installed a lot of silicone on it and I removed most of it, but yeah, try to spend much as possible time to remove all that, because it's really important, and try to clean the surface inside, because some of the silicone will come in and will stay in the whole systems. So there's the new gasket. I saw 2 bolts just to keep the gasket on place, and let's try to fit that now. Tie them up loosely, don't go too far. It's really important, because if you tie them up too much and one of the holes is not exactly on place, that will damage the gasket, which we don't want. Okay, it's 19. Okay, now it's the time for the most difficult part. which is installing on that bit. I'll do the same. I'll put the engine down, and now it's time to install this bolt here. Just to give you a quick update what I've done so far. Water pump, sensor, the gasket, the cover gasket. I changed the sensor for the air intake, and full flush on the engine cooling system, brand new coolant, new tank, and what else we bought? Oh yeah, for those who follow the channel, I changed the crankshaft sensor on the Tigra, and obviously that's a common problem for all the Vauxhalls. So now I'm going to replace the crankshaft on that Corsa as well. The whole problem is maybe the location, or I have no idea, but it's a quite similar engine. The crankshafts in exactly on the same place, and I'm not going to film it just because it's crazy difficult to keep the camera. But let me show you what's the other things which we will do. That cover here, it's missing, got no why. The adjustment for the seats, it's missing, and we already paint the central console just because the silver color it's look ridiculous for me. And that's all so far. Hopefully that's the last thing which I will do on the Corsa. I spent so much money and effort in that car, and I really hope that's the last thing which we'll do. But let's change it and have a look what's going on. Hello guys, I sorted out the Corsa like completely. I changed everything, and last night I go to the shops with that bloody Corsa just to see how it's running. Can I drive it for a bit longer or something, you know, test drive in case I'm selling it. And everything was fine, was running beautiful. And on the morning I decided just to put a few more pieces on it. There's one of the trims for the fog lights missing, and I say, you know, I'm gonna put it on. Open the car, try to start it just to move it a bit back, and didn't start. No crank, no start, nothing. So you know, the usual proceeds. I'll show you what to do in that case. In case there is no crank, there's a few things to check, like the fuse box, like some of the sensors. I'll read it with the OBD reader, and we have to check the starter as well. So one by one we'll sort it out. But after all that finish, it's the weather this week, it's terrible, just terrible, and we have to wait until it's sorted. So yeah, sooner the weather is good, we will sort another problem. I didn't expect to be like 202 problems on that car, but obviously we don't have choice. If I want to sell it, that's the only way. So see you in the next few days. Show how to troubleshoot your no crank, no start problem.